You hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I told Mike that the working title for this presentation, there's actually two, but see if we have time for both, was evolution. And you probably all thought it had something to do with Darwin's theory. I don't think I have anything to tell you about Darwin's theory. You all know more about it than I do. So this evolution is a little bit more personal, and it has to do with actually an evolution of the community moments that I've been doing. Recall that many of the community moments that I've done have been about self-defeating behaviors. And they're all thinking, oh, not that again. You remember things like guilt, worry. We discovered faith as a group as a self-defeating behavior. Envy, revenge. I think last time we talked a little bit about how Nelson Mandela had lived a life unencumbered by hate and revenge. And so what I've done, almost accidentally but serendipitously, is turn the corner from talking about the bad side of self-defeating behaviors to situations where people's lives have benefited by freeing themselves from self-defeating behaviors. So, oh, there we go. Okay. So, stay. Okay, so this is a series of slides. It doesn't work.
Sure, yeah.
Hello? Okay. Yeah, this is a series of slides in an email, and some of them really, if you think through them, you'll realize they represent situations where people have, again, lived lives unencumbered by self-defeating behaviors. Some of them are just plain funny and have nothing to do with self-defeating behaviors. You'll discover them for yourself. So I really like this one. Yeah, this is TC's. Yeah. Can you read this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're
okay.
the microphone. You gotta hold that thing up.
Yeah.
There you go.
If some of these,
Hold it in front.
There you go.
If some of these, if the print's too small, you know. Okay. Let's see, try. Well, let's do it this way. I like this better, anyways. This is my second favorite. This is Winnie the Pooh, and what it says, "What day is it?" asked Pooh. "It's today," squeaked Piglet. "My favorite day," said Pooh. Like this one? Yeah. Yeah. This one coming has nothing to do with self-defeating behavior, but it's so funny that I wasn't going to leave it out. So, it says, "Dear Algebra, please stop asking us to find your ex." "She's never coming back, and don't ask why." Harkens me back to when I just barely got through algebra in high school. Just barely. Ooh, here's a good one. Can you all read it?
Read it for us. Read it.
Okay. This fellow holding a balloon says, "You know why it's hard to be happy? It's because we refuse to let go of something that makes us so sad." We'll talk about regrets a little bit later. It's going to come back. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Kind of like that. This is this very old couple. and they're holding each other in bed, and it says, when asked how they managed to stay together for 65 years, the woman replied, "We were born in a time where if something was broke, you fixed it, not throw it away." Good stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Always remember your present situation is not your final destination. The best is yet to come.
That's what's so great about getting old.
Now, I have a change for this one, but I couldn't figure out how to change the... yeah, so let's just say... let's say be glad for the bad things in life rather than be thankful, because I think we have a problem with thankful here. At least I do. So that's Kermit saying, be glad for the bad things in life, for they opened your eyes to the good things you weren't paying attention to before. This one's called Priorities. It says his are absolutely perfect. So you can imagine this is Katrina or other floods, and this guy's rescuing cats, and the guy in back has furniture. This one's about Einstein. It's also about me. It says, if a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what then is an empty desk a sign? Yeah, I did a potluck at my house a few weeks ago, and I didn't let anybody into the room I use as an office, because it's seriously cluttered. This is about regret, isn't it? Mind replays what the heart can't delete. This is my favorite. Lao Tzu, I guess it's pronounced. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. That's guilt, isn't it? If you are anxious, you are living in the future. That's worry. Those are two of the worst of the self-defeating behaviors. Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. One of the hardest decisions you'll ever face in life is choosing whether to walk away or try harder. It's cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
Couple more. Oh yeah. Some people are old at 18 and some are young at 90. Time is a concept that humans created. Can you see this? It's a bus stop in Montreal, and they've got swings for people. Isn't that nice? My favorite airport is Charlotte, North Carolina. In the main concourse is rocking chairs.
Oh.
And you can sit and listen to music and watch the people walk by and rock in a rocking chair. Life is good. You cannot hang out with negative people and expect to live a positive life. You know, don't let other people drag you down. Never lose hope. You never know what tomorrow may bring. This is similar to the previous one. It's better to walk alone than with a crowd going in the wrong direction. It's probably my excuse for being antisocial. Yeah, about that. We are done. Okay, now. I have 6-7 more minutes?
Yeah, you just have
Okay.
6 more minutes.
One of the other community moments I did was about regret. And for those of you that weren't here, or a refresher for those of you who were, there was a young woman who witnessed on the news a tragic event. Boston Marathon bombing, Newtown shootings, whatever. And it reminded her of the fact that there are people who had a positive influence on her life, and she never thanked them. Like school teacher, etc. So she decided to write a letter to that person and a few others just to kind of belatedly thank them. And as it turns out, this idea of writing letters to express regret or thanks in advance caught on pretty quickly. She wrote a blog, and she encouraged other people to send her letters that expressed regrets. There was thousands of replies, and she eventually formed a book. People like to write letters. So this video is about a similar situation. And I subscribe to this really wacky email service called Rotten E-Cards. And it's like going to a Hallmark site. You can send e-cards, most of which are pretty sarcastic and profane. But they have a nice side to it where they send you inspiring stuff. And that's where I found this. So let's see here. Yeah, okay. Let's see how this works. Okay. Can I make this a little darker in here?
Yeah, and you can put the microphone next to the computer speakers too.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to let you all... Oh, okay, I see. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to be quiet and let you watch this. It's emotional for me.
Ever since I was a child, it was like my dream to move to New York City and become a writer. I moved right after graduating from college. Very quickly, I started to become very sad and very lonely, and didn't know how to really tell my friends or family about it. Depression had been this ugly word to me growing up, and it was something that happens to other people. It was becoming harder to get up in the morning. It was becoming harder to be in conversation with people. I just felt very worthless. One day I was on the train and a woman came onto the train from the platform. She looked lonely, she looked downtrodden, she looked sad. I pulled out a notebook and I wrote her a letter, and it felt like I had been doing it for years. I noticed something happened in that moment where I forgot about myself, and I forgot about the sadness and the worthlessness. There was this resolution in my mind that if this is how this letter writing makes me feel, then I am going to do it as much as I possibly can. I basically made a promise to people, like, if you need a handwritten letter for any reason at all, I don't care who you are and I don't care where you've been, I will write it to you. My inbox just started to fill up with letter requests. It was women struggling with loneliness in Japan and New Zealand. It was girls being bullied. It was boys moving to new cities. I realized very quickly that people don't need you to relate to them. They don't need you to have all the right words. I think that sometimes life just calls us to have words, just to be there and show up for somebody when they are losing all hope. It didn't matter that I was sad, that I was lonely, that I was depressed. I could be that for somebody else, and I wasn't going to miss the opportunity to do that. It says that I have too much mail, so I need to go to the front and pick it up. This one's from Australia, Missouri, Korea. There we go. Here's a Korea one. Southborough, Massachusetts. This one is from Romania. I started the organization moreloveletters.com. The whole thing started with one love letter and one lonely girl on a train, and that escalated into 400 letters, and then it turned into 12 team writers that spiraled into 11,000 letters being mailed in 49 countries, all 50 states. I've taken any letter that's really meant something to me in the past year or two, and I've just kept it along the walls. We're making sure they're good love letters, and then we're going to be mailing them off to people.
You never meet these people, but you know that you're doing a little something that's going to encourage them.
Everything is emails and Facebook and Instagram. I'm writing you a letter. This is coming from my heart. This isn't just a part of the everyday technology. I just felt so lost and disconnected. One day, somebody said, "You have a letter," and I must have read it 100 times. You deserve a life packed full with fresh air and hot summers, surrounded by people who love and care about you. She knew how to just say, "You know, I'm sorry you feel this way, and you're not alone." I mean, you can't put a price tag on that.
I have never felt this much joy and this much happiness, and it's because it's like my life isn't about me anymore. To be able to put your words onto a piece of paper is, in a sense, to tell your story, and I think that our stories are the most powerful things that we hold in this world. And so, if my story can go out on dozens and dozens of pieces of paper, somebody can hold that at the end of the day, to me, there's nothing more powerful or awesome than that.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
You like that?